Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Be Real Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, go to BREELnetwork.com. Enjoy the show.
Fatality.
Hello and welcome to Movie Guys Podcast. Tonight we're having a fun episode. It is the Star Wars prediction episode. I can't talk, but this is Jordan, along with, of course, Eric and Ed. How you boys doing tonight?
Hello.
I will finish what you started.
Yeah.
That was Sean Connery. That's too Sean Connery, wasn't it?
Well, that's kind of.
That was very Sean Connery.
I didn't realize that it actually may have been a mix. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that taking the voices? Like, well, what else does that sound like? Because a lot of these character voices, whether it be like a Frank Oz voice or something like that, inspire other voices.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to be like Kylo Ren, but it was definitely more like Sean Connery Ren.
I wonder if that's someone thought about that. Doug Benson has a thing where it was if it's Abraham Lincoln or Bane.
Oh, there you go.
So.
Nice.
Abraham Lincoln 7 years ago.
7 years ago, yeah.
So tonight we're talking about, of course, one of us three's favorite franchises of all time. It's Star Wars, leading up to
Never heard of it.
hopefully a trailer soon, which I'm excited to see a trailer. I've seen some posters up. Let's talk about the posters first. Have you guys seen the posters with Rey looking all new with a brand new hairdo? She has long hair now.
And a lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
it definitely tells us that some time has passed. What time we don't know yet, but enough time to where she went from her "let me speak to your manager" kind of sexy haircut to the long unkempt hair of a Padawan.
Well, okay, and then we got to talk about the title, The Last Jedi. Are we gonna be so obvious and say that The Last Jedi is Luke is gonna die in this one?
Well, here's the thing about that is that there's been a lot of other talks about that too, right? Because didn't someone kind of expose that the German paper released it as like a plural, so it could be like an octopi, last of the Jedi, or less
Nice.
like a group Jedi type thing. So. To roll off of that theory, I'm hoping that when they talk about, we're just gonna go right into it and talk about what the Last Jedi really is. Then my prediction is that they're talking about Luke Skywalker's last order or new order of Jedi.
That's interesting.
That failed.
Oh, okay.
So like the last of Luke's new order.
You mean like the ones that he was training with Ben Solo, Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
Where he had failed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering if it's the last of that Jedi, you know.
Or let's just go crazy.
Yeah.
What if Luke dies? What if Luke dies and Kylo Ren becomes a Jedi again?
Well,
and he's
here's
the last Jedi.
Here's the thing with that. Okay, there have been some some leaks combined with some theories and some combining of like outside stories and outside sources that's there's going to be a role reversal of the two, of Rey and Kylo, where at some point they fight and something happens to where Kylo becomes good again and Snoke overtakes the mind of Rey and Rey becomes evil.
Nah, that wouldn't be good. That's just too.
I agree with you. I'm just saying like that theory's out there.
What do you think about that, Eric?
It's interesting to me a few different things that because in the other Star Wars, damn it, I can't even think of the name.
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Uh, so many questions were left in that movie that I'm hoping to have either teased or answered or acknowledged in any movie that comes up, and whether it be Kylo Ren's inner torment and his battle between this dark and light that's going on, that he wants to be unlike the light so bad, but you could tell that it's a part of him, like he was born into this, and he wants so badly to be something else, something that he's not, and I think he's fighting it a lot. So I like
Hmm.
to see where that's going. I like that. I think it's been established that Ray has a lot of anger towards what happened to her as well. Like, and she's like,
Which there's a big theory that she's Luke's kid too. There's a big theory about
and
that.
she's getting a taste of like this new power, of her destiny here. And I think throughout the movie, it was never um, it was never a point where she was like fully accepting of everything. Where she seemed to always just kind of be like observing and just kind of absorbing all of what was happening.
Well, at the end, she kind of was accepting though, Eric. I mean, at the end where um, Finn goes down in the lightsaber battle and she takes up the mantle. I mean, like she definitely accepted at that point.
I say this because it's important to note that these characteristics that she's behaving, it's very similar to Anakin. The way that
Oh, good point.
that she's going in, like she's just this. She only knows one life, you know, and she does a good job at getting by. She's a survivor, and now she has this kind of this dawn, this guide to this new world that she's a key player in, and it's gonna go to her head, I think, much like it did with Anakin, where he felt he was
Well,
very untouchable.
well, the only thing with that is let's add in sort of what we know about Rey. She was dropped off on Jakku by somebody, some group, some person, some family, whatever. She assumes, and we are to assume it's her family. She's given into the care of I'm going to pronounce the name wrong, but Unkar Plutt,
Yeah,
right? And he protects her. He's given the role of protecting her, and like he sort of is her. I don't want to say her caretaker, but he basically is her the only semblance of family she's got. So we know that, but she's continuously trying to get back to wait for her family. So, on your point, Eric, she's I don't know that she's necessarily like headstrong about it, like overzealous of these things, because she's rejecting them. She's basically said, "I don't want this. I don't want this." She's playing that very Star Wars esque anti-hero role, where she's like, "I don't want this, but obviously I have no choice."
oh, you mean like the light that she was kind of forced into type thing?
Well, what she wants is she wants to get back to her family. She wants to get back to Jakku to wait for her family, and she was forced into this Skywalker family turmoil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That although she doesn't necessarily see it maybe as a a big family uh, fight, she more sees it as like a good versus evil. Like, this is where I'm here. This is what I have to do. But her goal is to get back. She wants to go back to wait. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if her goal is to go back to wait though, because at the end of the Force Awakens, she travels to find Luke. I think she's forgotten about going back to Jakku. I think she wants to be a Jedi now, because when she fought Kylo Ren at the end of the Force Awakens, she embraced the Force, she embraced her powers, and she wants to learn more.
You're
So I'm
assuming she
completely
wants. You're
opposite.
assuming she wants to learn more. I mean,
Then
she's
why did she
she's
travel to find the Jedi's first temple to
because
find
she
Luke?
was. What's her name? Maz Kanata tells her that she was chosen by the lightsaber. It was a Horcrux. She was chosen by it to save the galaxy to a certain degree.
Sure,
You know,
but
and let us not forget the overarching story of Star Wars before the idea of the Force was something called the Wills, the Book of the Wills, the story of the Wills, and the Wills. What their goal was, and what later became the Force, was to create a certain level of balance. It was when the good got too good, the Wills created the dark side. You know what I mean? Or not necessarily created the dark side, but they put somebody in place to rebalance them. When the dark side got too strong, things were put in place and things were put in motion. The Force created more good, so it continuously balanced itself. Thus, the chosen one, Anakin, after years of turmoil and developing what we know to be the Jedi Order up until Episode One, there had always been that balance, but there had never really been anything up to 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. Maybe I think it's 2,000 years, where there was always a balance. There was always the balance, and the Force was then taken out of balance by the fact that there were no bad guys. The Sith were gone. So the Jedi, there was too much good. So that then, so then they needed to create the evil, and then there needed to be the balance again. So it's a continuing story. I'm not saying she's that balance, but at the same time, she is she's reluctant. She doesn't necessarily want to be good or evil. Her goal is to get back to Jakku to wait for her family. So she's more gray than good or evil, and more than embracing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
sure, but I can tell you that I just went cross-eyed when you were explaining everything.
Well,
I'm glad
That's
my
just
knowledge of
that's just me.
story. Glad my knowledge of what is now known as legacy and not expanded universe has bored you.
No, it didn't bore me. It was just like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I mean,
Okay,
it makes sense to me because there's always got to be balance in the Force.
has to be balanced.
Your
Yeah.
microphone
Yeah.
completely. You put your microphone on
Now,
top of your head there, buddy.
this is me. I'm trying to do 20,000 things at once. Um, I do actually because I watched The Force Awakens earlier this week to kind of prepare for it, to kind of refresh my memory of the movie. There's one thing, and believe it or not, there's one thing that I call bullshit in the whole of Force Awakens. You guys know what that is?
What's that?
How the fuck does Kylo Ren have Darth Vader's mask?
Okay. They talk about how the First Order came out of the relics of the Empire, right? After the battle over Jakku, right, where there was the last stand of the Empire, they went off into the unknown regions of space, past the outer rim, right?
Uh-huh.
So what came left? Well, they went searching for relics, and what they found were the relics of the Death Star that had imploded, but there would still be some relics. And Vader's outfit, his costume was so strong and such a, basically, for lack of a better term, like a holocron or horcrux of the dark side, that it was able to survive the explosion.
Do you want to how know?
But
Do you want
wasn't
to
he
know how I know
burned
that's
on Endor?
Exactly. That's why that's bullshit because
Yeah, he
the
was on a
last scene,
pyre.
That's true. That's a good point.
not the special edition, but the actual ending of Return of the Jedi, he is burned with mask and costume and all on Endor. Eric, you're right. That's the only thing I call bullshit. Of why in the fuck does he have this mask?
Well, then why couldn't Kylo Ren have gone to the forest moon to that forest moon and have gotten it back? Killed a
You're
bunch of
telling me?
Ewoks.
Oh, he did not. That mask is gone. That mask is destroyed. That mask is nothing. It was burned.
I mean, if they made this Star Killer, I think finding a mask, kind of, I think they had intel to know kind of where Darth Vader was when he died. I think that's just like, yeah, you know what? I don't know for sure, Kylo Ren, but I think somewhere in Endor you're gonna find the pyre of, or the remains of Darth Vader down there. You just go there and
Maybe.
fucking take it. Like I think finding the mask, I think seems a bit more believable than the Starkiller base. But then again, like, I mean, even the Death Star, when you make something that fucking big, it's got to have some sort of gravity, right? I mean, like, you can't just be floating around, and that thing would, like,
No,
fucking
yeah, you're right.
rip through time and
I
space.
mean,
Like, it'd be its own fucking just ball of gravity just ripping through time. Oh,
like Starkiller Base is kind of it's kind of ridiculous,
Yeah.
it's fucking
but
sweet though. Like, just looking at
it's
it is
awesome.
sweet.
Absolutely.
Like, take an
You know what?
actual planet and fucking like the
It's
efficiency. You
amazing.
gotta build a planet, just take an old one. And
It's just taking an old plant. I mean, like,
That's
guys,
no moon.
honestly,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
still I'm still not over Rogue One. I still have a love affair
Well, get
with
over it,
Rogue
buddy,
One.
because now we're in the new breed here. Okay.
I just I I am so interested in December to see what episode 8's going to bring, but I mean Rogue One is still my baby right now.
Well,
And
keep in mind what J.J. Abrams said after reading the script for this movie. Like he had said signing on that he doesn't do sequels unless they're his own, and then of course he does Star Trek. But he said that his biggest regret, I'm paraphrasing, but his biggest regret in his career is not directing this movie. You know what I mean? So they're going to do something really good. Something really good's about to happen.
no, I mean something good's really going to happen with
Oh,
the Last Jedi.
well, we
It
know
definitely
something
will.
really big is about to happen with it. We know for a fact something big is about to happen with this one because in the rule of trilogies, I mean, just like the second one, we know that the third one's coming. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we know this. It's already been. So they can choose to have this one. Like, the first one was the reintroduction, and so it's fine, start to end movie, gave you something, but it left you with that cliffhanger. And so now this one is gonna pick up where that one left off, and then it's gonna cliffhang. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be fucking amazing.
And it's going to end dark if we hold true to trilogies.
Yeah, this is
If we hold true to trilogies.
some Lord of the Rings shit here, man.
It would be interesting to see what they're going to do because something else I discovered that I read online is this is the first Star Wars movie without the yellow outline. The Last Jedi has a red outline. You guys notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be dark. I mean, they're already telling us with the fucking red outline, which I know it sounds weird when you say it out loud, but with the red outline, it's gonna be dark, right,
God,
boys?
I want it to be
Mm-hmm.
dark. Fuck whimsical, dude. Give me that dark shit. Like,
I mean,
I'm
we're on
yeah.
board, man. Like,
and think of this: we're yet to be introduced to a major character in this story.
Who's Snoop?
Benicio del Toro,
Yes,
whomever he plays.
yes. Which is another reason why I think that Kylo is gonna go back to being a Jedi because you don't cast Benicio del Toro for a bit part. I mean, he's gonna be the new Darth Maul. The new Vader. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he's gonna be it.
here's the big question that we're not even talking about too is that a lot of Snoke's kind of role and everything too, and it's mysterious. Like, nothing is known about this dude really. Like, nothing a lot, is really known about this dude. He just kind of popped out of nowhere. Um, and the people who claim to know stuff like that might be more like extended shit, or just like fan fiction or fake news that get passed around. Like, Snoke is a pretty mysterious dude.
We know nothing about him yet. I've read theories that he's Palpatine slash Sidious. I've read theories that he's Mace Windu. I've read
I've read that one,
theories,
yeah.
yeah, that I've read theories that he's Darth Vader's apprentice, or former apprentice, and he's seen the end of the Empire from the inside. That he was the guy from Rogue One, that he was Vader's assistant. You know what I mean? And nobody knows. He's the one major question mark because we kind of sort of know who everyone is, minus Ray. But we haven't we've seen her. They tell us her story to a certain degree, from a certain
Well,
point of view.
my opinion of Snoke, that's his name, right? Snoke.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Without reading
Emperor.
any fan theories, because I haven't read any fan theories about this, but they said in the prequel trilogy that there are always two. So
Oh, I'm sorry, Supreme
Now,
Leader.
hang on.
Supreme,
Pause for
Supreme
1
Leader
second.
Snoke, everybody. I said Emperor, it's
Yeah,
Supreme Leader Snoke.
what you're talking about is Darth Bane's rule of 2 when it comes to the Sith and the Sith Lords. These are not Sith. At least we don't know that
okay.
yet, because the term like Darth implies Sith Lord. There are other types of Sith, like in terms of like those who study the Force, but they're not, to the best of our knowledge yet, Sith Lords.
But what
Which
I'm
is
trying to
what.
get at,
Okay.
what I'm trying to get at is that the Emperor. Okay, I'll make this as blunt as possible. I like to pretend in my life that the prequel trilogy never happened. When my daughter
Oh, come
comes to
on.
me and says, "Show me Star Wars," it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's what I'm going to show you. But anywho, in the prequel trilogy, they say that there's always two. Now, I get what you're saying, Ed. However, though, I don't think the Emperor is that stupid. I think he has something up his sleeve. I think he has an ace in the hole of protection just in case of something fucking up. And I think that's what Snoke is. I think Snoke is something that we don't know just yet, but I think he has been there since episode 1 behind the scenes with the Emperor. Probably.
And that's highly likely, because the way he mentions the failure of the Empire as if it were somebody who had seen it from the inside. You know
Oh.
what I mean?
And also someone who was allowed to build the First Order around an already outstanding republic, too. A republic that seems to be, at least as far as we can tell, pretty unified.
Yeah, and because I haven't read the new books, but I've watched theories that have talked about the stories from the new books. Mon Mothma, after the Civil War had ended and they had driven back the Empire, and they had signed the treatise, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mon Mothma creates the new republic sans military.
Okay.
So she does not want a military. She doesn't. What would have been at that time the end of the Clone Wars, like the clones were the Republic Army, right? Well, she doesn't want a centralized military. She wants the planets and the systems to have their own.
Okay.
Okay, so what to your point, yeah, they back the remnants of the Empire, and they're gone now. So, there's no one left to defend them, which is where the idea of the the resistance, that's where they come out of. Makes
Uh,
sense?
yeah, I
Okay.
guess I get it now, yeah.
Hmm. Well, I still think that he is something that has been a part of the history. I think he has been behind the scenes the entire time. Snoke will be interesting to see. Big factor that we got to talk about is the fact that the real actress, Carrie Fisher, has died and her character is still alive in the Star Wars universe. So, what are they going to do?
A lot of tricky shots, I'd imagine, but did they. Oh, they didn't start filming yet, did they? Or did they?
They have not started filming at that time when she passed. So, my question is, are they going to do like they did with Rogue One and, post her face on? Or my theory is the opening scenes of episode 8, The Last Jedi, is Leia's funeral. Or do you think
Oh,
that's too hardcore?
no, no, I mean, Han died, so.
Yeah, but Han died. Yeah, but but Harrison Ford's still with us. In Star Wars, are we going to honor
Not if he keeps on flying that
Leia?
plane, he won't be here with us. I
True.
think that no, they'll just do quick cinema work. Maybe find angles or shots that have the back of her head, or have her off camera, or have her in mention. Kind of, or maybe have her on video, and they can do a hologram of her. That would be easier to do if it was all hologram messaging, and they had her just
Yeah.
like hologram in. That would be very
Yeah.
easy for them. They could get away with that. So
They
that's an
could,
option.
but they
Yeah.
have to introduce her because they already brought her into episode 7, so they have to bring her back for
They don't
this.
need to introduce it. They just need to keep the character going, or give the character an explanation as to why that she's not there. So
Do
they're
you,
just like, oh, Leia's off conducting business yada over here instead. So we're gonna focus on this scene without her. But no, they got to keep her in. That's just
but
what's gonna happen.
do you think though that my theory, I mean like do you think that my theory is correct, Eric, where I say that since Carrie Fisher has died in real life, the opening scenes of The Last Jedi is going to be Leia's funeral? Do you
No,
think they're going to do that?
I mean
No,
no. I don't like.
she was.
I can see why they would, but I don't. There's no reason to kill her off. Like you can get she's not a pivotal character. She's just a known character. She's not gonna bring
They
the.
finished filming her. Her scenes were done. She was done filming by the time she died.
Oh, okay. That's what we were
Oh,
wondering.
was she? Was
Yeah,
she?
they finished filming this, like, it was supposed to be released 6 months ago.
Good.
What?
See, we got
And
that
they
answered. In that case being said, Jordan, no, there's no reason to kill Leia. I think they can get away with it just as easily as they could. So the answer for the next movie would be that then, if she is, they do choose to keep her because she could very well die. She's an expendable character right now too. She's there for emotion right now and nostalgia. It's the only reason why she's there. She's a Star Wars veteran, you know.
Okay. Do you think Ray? Do you guys think that Ray? Okay, so let's disagree for the sake of my question. That Ray is going to be the new Luke. She's going to know all the ways of the Force, and she's going to be awesome. Let's just argue, okay? Um, do you think that they're going to bring back Anakin, Obi-Wan, all those other characters as Force Ghost? Because I did read a rumor online that Disney said that the character of Obi-Wan is not finished yet.
here's to that. Okay,
Gungans.
there there were reports that Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor were in London at the time of filming. Okay, that's number one. And number two, there were requests from Skywalker Ranch by the production team for the original Yoda puppet.
Interesting.
So to say that they are not going to be in the movie, we already know that they're going to be in some facet because Ewan McGregor's voice is in it. Okay, and Yoda and Frank Oz's voice is in it, and Alec Guinness's voice is in it too. But still,
I just said it's like why not use his ghost and why use Ewan McGregor's instead? Like, I mean, I guess more of a modern update, but
yeah. Well, you keep in mind they can make Ewan McGregor look
do
old.
I get the choice when I die? Do I get the choice of what age that I come back at? Like,
Oh, that'll be great.
No, but in the theory of Force ghosts, when
Hey,
you come back,
Eric, you're gonna be in
you
your
come back
prime
in your
rest
most
of your
pure.
life.
In your most pure.
Oh,
So
well,
Obi-Wan's
so that'd be
most
an
pure.
infant for me then,
God.
dude. Like, are you like my most pure is here at 30? That's oh no.
No.
Well,
No.
when you're the strongest and most pure with the Force, you know what I mean? Like if that's 75,
I
that's
get you.
75.
I
You
get you.
know,
You're most
for
yeah. You're
yeah,
when you
for
become enlightened.
yeah. You know, that's why Anakin was that's why he was after the redesign. Why he was pre Episode 3 Hayden Christensen.
That is a bullshit excuse.
You
Tell
know,
me
rather
that
than
Obi-Wan
That's
took
a
him that
bullshit
took
excuse.
him that long to hit it. Like, man. But it's fine. Listen, it's I don't care.
No, yeah.
It's not a big deal. If as long as it's not like you know what I'm kind of getting tired of like the flashbacks or the dreams of the past that are like too real. All too often we see these people who are just like, oh man, I just had a vision of the past or some shit like that, and just like, oh, Did you have that just to kind of foreshadow your shit? You know,
Nice.
but
Yeah.
add suspense and stuff like that. I understand that you do it, but when you already have a captivating story, you know, you can do it in different ways. You don't need to do it in like this kind of Hollywood kind of standard movie fashion.
Which I wanted to ask this question too, and this could be a weird question. Since this is Star Wars predictions, do you guys feel that Star Wars 8, The Last Jedi, is going to be just as good as Rogue One? Or do you think we're going to get a stinker?
Oh, it's going to be better than Rogue One, bro. Like, I like Force Awakens better than Rogue One.
Okay,
Listen,
well, you're high, so you're not around no more. Eric, go ahead and.
I am not. I am not. These are cigarettes.
I'm higher than he is.
Yeah.
Uh, this is they put themselves in a pretty tight space here, bud. Like you had already people judging real high at Force Awakens. Like people were just like, okay, this is a lot riding on this because this has happened before, where a company revitalized this just treasured holy grail of cinema here, um, and you done fucked it up. So don't fuck it. And then everyone saw it, and everyone's just like, well, this was actually really cool, and it was. I enjoyed it so much. Um, I'm not gonna jerk off to it, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it did it. You got my respect. I'm on board. And then Rogue One came out. And you're like, okay, I'm. This is your 2 for 2. This is great. Let's see what you got, Disney. You have this train, this momentum that's going, and so it's the pedestal only gets higher when that happens. So a lot of people are going to go in here expecting a whole lot, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be let down with this movie. I feel like a lot of people already have an idea of what's going on because uh, uh, the first one they didn't know what was going on. Like you had a whole new set of characters, and you had a whole new story path going on. This one now they're taking guesses, and so people will be let down if something doesn't go their way.
True.
I absolutely agree. And my biggest fear, just to piggyback off you, is that they're going to be more concerned with merchandising and opening up the new park than they are with the story they're telling. To where
Oh.
they're going to let the story suffer and it's not going to be dark enough. Because let's face facts, as as realistically as dark as Clone Wars and Empire were, they're not really that dark in the scheme of things. Like the worst thing that happened in Empire is that the good guys are beaten back slightly, and Luke loses a hand, and he finds out the bad guy's his dad.
Yeah.
In Clone Wars, you find out that oh, we can be defeated. A prophecy that misread could have been. Like and then Dooku just chops off Luke's hand, or not Luke's hand, Anakin's hand, right? So it's not really that bad. My fear is that they're going to take those concepts. Now, granted, both filmmakers Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams are much better than George Lucas ever was, but I'm afraid that they're going to Disneyize or Disneyrize, whatever the
I like that
proper
one.
English would
Disneyrise, okay.
Disneyrize this and focus on selling toys versus storytelling.
What are you talking about, Ed? That's been Star Wars since the first movie. Is all it been? Not let's sell the story. Let's sell the toys.
That was Lucas's idea. Remember that.
That's what they're doing now. And I tell you what, they're selling Rogue One toys, and Rogue One is the darkest of all the Star Wars movies because it was a suicide
Aha,
mission.
there's where you're wrong. Star
Are you
Wars,
kidding me?
Rogue One was a Star Wars story, not a Star Wars movie. The movie goes along the
fiddle
timeline.
faddle.
No. Stop it. They tell you
Oh,
that in the title. A Star Wars
I don't
story.
give a
It's a
fuck what
fucking
they
war movie that has Star Wars characters in it. And it's great. And I
Oh, you're
love Rogue
fucking
One. And we
high.
talked about it when we reviewed it. And I loved Rogue One. But you got to remember the Star Wars timeline. Forget about the legacy stuff. The Star Wars timeline revolves around Anakin Skywalker, and that's it. That's the story of Star Wars. Everything else is expanded universe / legacy. It's no longer canon. Okay?
Okay.
And the stuff that is canon now, they're picking and choosing. They're literally taking characters and saying this exists, but this doesn't.
They
I know that
Oh.
was in Clone Wars, and this guy was too, but that guy's in the story, and this guy's not. They're picking and choosing, so it has to revolve around Anakin Skywalker.
did someone actually I don't know where I've heard this from, but it maybe some fake news shit. But uh,
So on
whether
CNN or what?
whether it be Disney or some nerd in the basement, that apparently the new Star Wars the storyline will continue and completely ignore or disregard anything in the extended universe.
No, that is Disney.
Disney
Okay.
said that. Disney said it's gonna.
Yeah, Disney said when they were developing the story for Force Awakens that they're no long everything that has ever been written other than the 6 films previous to Force Awakens are legacy stories. They are not in the timeline. They no longer exist.
Well, Rogue One exists.
Rogue One exists in the timeline because it's now canon movie. That being said, just because it's in the canon doesn't mean it's on the same plane. Like, obviously our listeners can't see my hands, but you've got the timeline that is Star Wars, and Rogue One is between the stories.
Look,
Okay,
Ed.
so hang on a second. Disney has said anything that's not Star Wars Rebels, the TV show on Disney, they're picking and choosing from only one other source, which is Star Wars Clone Wars, the TV show, what is and is not in the story. Make sense?
Sure, that's
This is
fine.
this is literally what this literally is, for lack of a better term, to give it like historical significance, is the people that sat on the Council of Trent that chose what did and didn't go in the Bible.
Fine. But what my argument to you is that Rogue One is Star Wars. No matter how you want to put about it, it is Star Wars.
Well,
Because
yeah.
what Disney has said is every single year for the next 50 years, they're going to give us a fucking Star Wars movie. So, Star Wars Rogue One, I don't care if it's a Star Wars story or an anthology of a Star Wars story or my left testicle Star Wars story. It is Star Wars, regardless of anything. And they have sold more toys than ever. And Star Wars Rogue One is the darkest, the best, the greatest out of this moment Star Wars
Jesus.
film of all time.
Jesus, calm
Oh
it
my
down.
God!
Pump the brakes. Let's calm down here.
Well, Jordan, let me ask you this: is Prometheus an Aliens movie?
Yes.
Fuck you! It is not.
Yes.
You're only
and so is
saying that
Alien
because you
Covenant.
see where I'm going with this, and you're fucking wrong.
Oh, hater.
No,
Hate.
hold on.
Hate.
We're not talking about Prometheus,
No.
but that
you guys
Alien
are-
Covenant
what-
trailer
You guys are
was
talking about.
amazing.
You guys are talking about merchandising with Star Wars, and like these are. I had like Pez with a Darth Vader on it. Like Star Wars is
I
the most
know.
marketable brand. It doesn't matter where in the franchise. Like BB-8 is amazing for merch. Like
Yes, BB-8 is like my wife's favorite droid. She loves BB-8. Everybody loves BB-8.
everyone loves BB-8. I want that droid. I want a BB unit there.
My daughter loves BB-8, and she wasn't even born when the movie came out.
It's
She doesn't even know it exists
He's
yet,
got
but she wants
character.
it.
He's great, man. I love it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
A lighter for a thumbs up? Yes.
droids are not only slaves, but they're also well, they're also great plushes.
That was our first argument in a long time there. That was fun.
Well, and I'm not done with it. I've just decided to let
I
you
don't think that was
just
an
let you keep
argument,
talking
just
and
like
to move on from the conversation
Wars
because
is-
you're still wrong.
You're-
You're still wrong.
You're saying you're hoping that Star Wars doesn't sell out. I mean, just like this is kind of what they've been
That's
doing.
not what I
though.
said. That is not what I said. We all know that Star Wars is going like anything Star Wars is going to sell toys. Fuck, they sell orange. They put Darth Vader's picture on oranges for God's sake.
Yeah.
My point is my hope is that they weren't more concerned with selling toys to where kids would go see like when they're gonna think, oh, we're gonna sell toys, so we got to make it less dark. So
Uh,
it takes away from the story. That's my point.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Then you hope that they don't play it safe.
They
Right.
won't.
We don't know that.
They didn't play it safe with Rogue One. That was a Disney movie, and they
But
literally hugged
but
each other when
as
a
we
bomb
talked
came
about
at them.
during that review, which is on our Podbean, by the way, everybody, you can go back and check it out.
Yes.
That the director, people involved with that had to fight to get it to where it was. Like they
Yes.
made it a certain
Mhm.
level, didn't you say? And then they had to constantly go back and forth with Disney and cut down what they could and could not do into the original script. And
Yeah, true.
what
Yep.
they came
Yep.
out with now is a very much uh, less or brighter. Not that's the wrong word to use, but it's
We have
not
we
as
have
tender.
implied deaths versus actual slaughters.
Yeah.
Really? Because Darth Vader slaughtered all those motherfuckers at the end there.
But it
So
was
I don't know
but it
if
was
that was
fucking
gonna
Darth Vader. Like you knew that was
It
gonna
doesn't
happen.
matter.
Yeah.
And
It
he
doesn't
he
matter.
lightsabered and it was epic, but he
Where?
lightsabered one dude and force choked another and threw another guy
It
across the
doesn't
room.
matter. It was still awesome and it was still dark for kids. It doesn't matter. I think the argument comes to place of what's good and what's not good for kids. My whole point is that Disney did not pay over $1 billion to make this franchise kidified. They're not going to Pocahontas the
Yes,
shit out
they
of this.
did. They paid $1 billion so they can build a fucking theme park and make a
Yeah.
trillion.
By the way,
Good,
they
good.
need to. It doesn't even matter. I don't see why they would hold back on making Darth Vader the source of nightmares for children because he should be. That's Darth Vader.
Yes.
Like
But
fucking.
Darth Vader saves the galaxy. He's Anakin fucking Skywalker. He's a chosen one.
That's
He
where
brings balance to the Force.
that's the impact of him. Hate him so much now, so when you find out what he's all about later, you're just like, oh, dude, I love you even more. Kind of like that whole Snape effect in Harry Potter. You're just like, oh, dude, that's what you were playing with this entire time. Damn, I'm
That's a good reference.
I'm
It
fucking
is.
with it. You know what I mean? Because when that came and you found out, you're just like, oh man,
But
okay.
just to have fun with that, Eric, the prophecy is a Skywalker will bring balance to the Force. They never said Anakin. So
They never
would
said Skywalker.
They
They
never
said
said
Yes, they
when.
they said a Skywalker would
They
they
bring
never-
never
balance to the
no.
Force.
they never
The prophecy
said
didn't say
when.
Skywalker. No, it
Yes,
didn't.
they do.
It just said that and I'm going to be paraphrasing, but they never say anything about a Skywalker being anything. They just say that somebody will be born from the Force or born of the Force that will bring balance to it.
So who says it's not going to be Rey? Who says that Rey is actually
Because
the
they've
balance
already
of the
brought
Force?
balance to the Force. What did I
Did
say
they
at the
really
beginning?
though?
I
How
said
did
that at
they
the
bring
beginning.
balance to the Force? How did they bring balance to the Force with the
By
First
making
Order
it
still
gray.
around?
You bring balance to the Force by not making sure that there's too much good and too much dark.
Mm-mm.
That's what fucking Vader did. There was a lot of good, so he turned bad. Then there was too much bad, so he turned good. And he brought balance to the Force.
It was
That's what
nothing but
happened.
bad.
I
It was
believe
nothing but bad.
if I'm quoting directly, the force is strong in my family. My father had it. I have it. My sister had it.
Boom.
Or
And you
has
have
it.
it too
And
from
you
the
have
first
it too.
trailer.
Yeah.
From the first trailer.
So all I'm trying to say is that it's gonna be Rey. At the end of this new trilogy, Rey is
Well,
gonna bring balance to this Force.
here's the thing is that like this is kind of an easy guess, and whether Disney wants to admit it or not, I think this is in a world or a story of such privacy and mystery right now. There might be one or two things that are just kind of gimmies, you know, and
Sure.
if you can acknowledge it early on now, then maybe that theorized twist at the end would be much more impactful of the character too, especially if it cliffhangs. You just see, oh god damn it, that'd be so fucking badass, dude. If you just see kind of Rey suddenly just turn dark, oh she looks evil as fuck too, like that.
No, yeah.
That'd be so cool just to see her turn dark.
Well,
Uh,
here's the thing with that. There is now again how much of this is true, how much of this isn't. There is a leaked version of the script where Benicio del Toro's character and Kylo Ren fight Luke and Rey in Snoke's chambers. Okay,
oh,
and at one point Snoke takes over the mind of Rey, and she turns to the dark side for a period of time, and it's Benicio del Toro, and they call him something that begins with an R. I think they called him Rev or Rav or something, but that's probably not his name. Okay, and Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting Luke. Well, previous to this, Poe Dameron and Finn were going. They were going on their own little rogue mission to go in from the back, basically come in the back door. Okay.
Great character, by
Well,
the way, too.
wrong. Yeah. Well, Finn busts down the door when Luke's about exhausted, and it's 3-on-1, and he throws Ren a lightsaber, not Ren, Finn a lightsaber, and it's Finn and Luke versus Rey, Kylo Ren, and Benicio del Toro
Jesus, that's
for
a
a period
lot.
of time. Yeah, until Luke knocks, like, basically force pushes her Rey, and she hits her head, and she comes back to the light, and then that's the end of the movie. They're defeated to a certain extent, and they run away, and the building collapses.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Do you not?
My theory still attains place. So.
I
don't know where I am.
Are you drunk?
What did I
A
say?
little bit.
I would
A
say
little
that.
You had 1 pint of beer.
No. That was my 7th.
Dear God.
I've had a hard month at work. I can't wait to announcement time. We're going to do a show in Pittsburgh.
We're not there yet, but thank you for the preview.
Yes, we'll talk about that soon.
So before we do this, let's talk about predictions for episode 8 and episode 9. How do we think the movie's going to end in 8 and then the series in 9? Eric, you can go first if you like.
It's a rough one for me. I think we're gonna go into a bit more of what happened with Luke's new Jedi Order or new Jedi or new whatever the hell the group is called, Skywalker Farm over there. I think we're gonna find out what happened to that a little bit more. I think that I like the idea that Snoke has been a player. He's been a watcher the entire time. That's pretty good. Uh, or maybe I like that better than it being like a resurrected soul or something like that. But he looks pretty beat up, so I have a lot of questions about that too. But then again, you've
Sure.
seen like how Palpatine, how the Force just after a while just kind of consumed just a lot of him. Same with Vader too. Even though he was horribly scarred and burned, he still came out very purpley and kind of drained really. So I wonder if Snoke has just been doing it so long that he's just withered and drained now, but he's just so like next level fucking dark side supreme leader that he's just doesn't even play that shit. So I'd like to see that. Um, I'd like to see in this one. I really want to see like a big fight. If we're gonna go for kind of like I hype myself up a little bit when I said Lord of the Rings, just because it's just like, oh man, if that's the case, then that means number 3 it's just gonna be straight warfare. And I liked what they tried to do in episode 1 where they had like a ground battle going on and then like a star fight going on and then just like a bunch of different things and then like a breach going on too. Like all those different battles going on at once was dope. It just sucked because why the fuck did it need to be in episode 1 right now? And that's a different thing on its own. But that's what I'm hoping for is just kind of this turn. I want Luke to live. I don't care if Rey is the daughter or not. It does not matter to me. We can assume that she is, but I want him to stick around a bit more, and I want to find out what happened in this gap. Kind of like with Jesus. Like, what happened during your teenage years, Jesus? We don't know about that, so I want to know. I want to know about this. Like, what happened to you? What happened when you were growing up, Kylo? Like, well, there's a mystery here. What happened when you were training children, when you were younglings? Fucking that Luke. Like, what happened? So that's all I want to know. I want to maybe Snoke had something to do with the downfall.
There we go.
Maybe
There we go.
maybe he was the cause of Ending Luke's summer camp.
Yes. My prediction is going to be a little fun and outlandish and ridiculous, but Snoke is actually
Snoop.
Darth. Yeah, Snook. Snoke
Oh, you
Darth
broke the mic.
All right, you
Sidious
broke
the
up. You broke
entire
up.
time.
Oh, what? Say that again.
Repeat it.
Snoke is actually Darth Sidious. He was pulling the strings the entire time. Luke will die in this movie. Leia will die in this movie. There will be a lot of death. There will be an epic battle at the end. And at the end of the franchise, Rey is our new Luke because she is so amazing. She's my new Ripley. I whack it to Ripley. So
Wow.
Rey would be that new one for me. Um, there will be Force Ghost of Obi-Wan, Yoda. There'll be Force Ghosts of Darth Vader or Anakin, and Mark Hamill will come back in Episode 9 as a Force Ghost. He will be the new Obi-Wan to Rey in Episode 9. That is my prediction as of right now for Episode 8.
Mine is somewhat of a composite of both. Actually, I'm deathly afraid of two things. That they will say that Rey is a Skywalker, that she's Luke's kid,
Sure.
but that's going to happen. We know that's going to happen. Most likely, she's going to be somebody's kid from the story. Okay, and I do think that they're going to have basically the Force ghosts of Anakin is going to be all along the while. Maybe not until the end, but like you'll hear little things here and there, and he's going to be the one that turns Kylo good, but he's going to betray that ghost in this movie. I think Benicio del Toro is going to be basically the apprentice to Snoke, and Kylo is the secondary, like he's the ancillary character. He's the one that was needed to start the war, but Snoke doesn't need him. I think that's what's going to start the turn, but he's going to try to do something to prove himself to Snoke, i.e., kill Luke, which I think is going to happen. And then they have the composites of all the Force ghosts. Maybe not Anakin, but Luke, Obi-Wan, and Yoda training Rey at the end. They're saying, "Oh, you're not. You got to complete your training. You're not done because something's going to happen. She's got to go save Leia," and she fails. And I think there's probably going to be a deleted scene, but they probably rewrote something to where maybe they don't kill Leia, but she goes off on a consular mission and she doesn't come back. I think that's how the movie's going to end, with Leia dying, but you don't see it because she died in
Okay.
real life. But there will be some sort of double training montage in a certain extent. We'll probably open with that. And then you're going to get an epic battle. You're going to get an epic battle between Rey and Kylo Ren and Snoke and Luke and whomever this third character is, whomever Benicio del Toro plays, and whomever it will be, as ambiguous as it will be, the dark side, the bad guys will come out victorious in this movie.
Interesting. Well, we have a lot of interesting predictions leading up to Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. I'm excited for it. I am not a fan of winter, but December cannot come fast enough for me. I'm sure Eric and Ed, of course, are just as geek as I am. There would be no Movie Guys podcast without Star Wars because technically that was our first episode ever. We did a little test episode before, but that was our first episode ever with Star Wars. So we're excited to see where that takes us. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can check this episode out on iTunes. Just search movieguyspodcast.com. Movie Guys Podcast, I'm sorry. You can also check us at movieguyspodcast.com, broadnetwork.com, and also our main feed, which is movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. And I did spoil it in the earlier section, but we are doing another live episode. Movie Guys Podcast is coming to you live, recording from Pittsburgh very soon. I'm excited for that.
Absolutely. I'm pretty pumped. Y'all are coming to my neck of the woods.
Yes, we are going to talk about it, but we're probably going to go see Kong Skull Island if we can.
Yep.
So,
Hey, I know one hell of a 3D theater right around there.
I don't know. Is Kong in 3D?
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Well, I never. Okay. Well, anyway, we will be recording Kong, probably with other special guest hosts. It's going to be a big extravaganza. But look for the Kong Skull Island review. It's going to be an awesome, fun time. I'm looking forward to it. I know Eric and Ed are looking forward to it, and everybody else is looking forward to it as well. But again, check us out at movieguyspodcast.com, berealnetwork.com. Check us out at Podbean, which is movieguyspodcast.podbean.com, and search on Twitter, Movie Guys Pod, and also on iTunes, Movie Guys Podcast. But coming back next week I'm so excited for this one, Logan. We'll be reviewing Logan next week. So I'm really excited for that one. But for Eric and Ed, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. We'll talk to you guys next week for Logan. Have a good night.